Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Be the Boss of Your Money. It is a particularly special edition because I have one of my best buddies here, Jahn Levin, founder of Purity Products. But you have a lot more accomplishments besides just Purity Products. You've got a beautiful family, beautiful daughters, wonderful marriage, incredible wife.
Appreciate that.
So I wanted to talk to Jahn because a lot of people who know him, everyone who knows him, finds him to be a very calm presence in their lives and someone who is very inspirational.
Stop, Mitch. Stop.
Is that laying it on too thick? It's like I just could kill 5 minutes just an introduction.
Thank you. So, don't tell me anymore. Don't.
Just a few more things. He can bench 315. And,
I used to. Those days are gone. Some people are getting a little smaller. Mitch, how did you get bigger? I'm going to interview you on that next time. On Be the Boss.
I think we should do a fitness video. How to be in shape,
Right.
Fabulous over 50.
Right. Whoever wins this meeting gets to bench press the other guy.
Yeah, okay.
If you whoever does better, bench presses the guy.
Okay, you got it. So, Jed, tell us a little bit about your business, Purity Products.
Yeah, Purity Products. Look, it's like a labor of love. I have 4 beautiful daughters. I sometimes think of Purity Products as like my son. It's just like a diamond that I keep trying to shine up, and ultimately one day, hopefully I get to maybe pass it down to the next generation. But Purity Products started out of a desire for me to look at like a need that I thought was in the marketplace. I was always very into health and fitness. I was 1 years old when I graduated college. I got into a little bit of an entrepreneurial mindset. I started Purity Products because I said, I want to do something that hasn't been done with nutrition. I want to be able to do the homework for the customer. Because I think the most confusing place to be is either in like the computer aisle where you've got all these choices, or the health food store where you've got all those choices. You don't know which one's the best. So the idea of Purity Products is we do the homework for people. We align ourselves with doctors, with nutritionists, with chiropractors. We create these specialty formulations and we kind of stack like many interesting ingredients. So if we're going to do omega-3 fish oil, we'll do fish oil and krill oil and CoQ10 and vitamin D in one little pill. So now we've got a big story to tell, and our products are premium. They cost a little more, but they offer so many like different modes of action. So they're good for the heart. It's good for the joints. It's good for the brain. That's one example of what we do differently.
I'm going to do a quick share screen. Okay, I'll pull the website up. Okay, everyone could see what it looks like. There it is. And you do by the ailment, right? So if you have
condition specific stuff, if you got a joint issue, a heart issue. Remember, dietary supplements support health. They're not designed to treat disease. So we have to be very careful, very responsible. We don't want to tell people, we don't want to prey on people's vulnerabilities. If you're very sick, go to the doctor. But if you have a concern about how do I keep my cholesterol healthy? Well, guess what? We have plant sterols. We have omega-3 fish oil. You want to try to sharpen your brain function because as you're getting older, something called age-related cognitive decline. Mitch, everybody's talking about this.
I don't know anything about that.
You have one of the greatest memories of all time, so you don't have to worry about it.
Well,
but all of these,
you just gave me a great segue. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Jahn and I met in college, freshman, 1985. It goes back a ways. SUNY Albany, loved it, and you were the first person, because we were all into fitness. It was we were just all of us. We went to the gym. We did our racquetball. We played flag football, and you were the first person I ever saw. Like you had these little packets of pills, of vitamins, and multi, and a fish oil. Like no one knew about this stuff, but you were legitimately into this. Like you started Purity Products. I don't think you started it because it was about, well, what could I do for dollars and cents? You started it purely out of passion for supplements. You are what you eat. You are what you put into your body. And that's what it's so amazing about this.
It's a fundamental belief I've always, grown up with. Not that I have an impeccable diet, but I'm mindful about exercise, about nutrition. I've always been fascinated by nutrition. It's funny, if you're a thoroughbred racehorse, if you're in that business, you know exactly what you're going to feed your horse because you want it to win that race. It's very important, nutrition. But when it comes to people, a lot of people are like, well, who cares what I eat? You go to the doctor, you don't feel well. Almost the last thing they ask you is about your diet. So like I've always believed that there's a lot there that we can dive into and improve.
Obesity in this country. People treat their car better than they treat their own body.
For sure.
And how do you, you're so inspirational. So,
well, look, I think with some success, you have to have some humility. You have to have some gratitude. And I think that's something I take to heart, right? And so like, I think you can be an entrepreneur, you can be a capitalist, that's great, but are you a responsapreneur? What do I mean by that? Are you responsible to the community? Are you gonna give back? Are you gonna take good care of your employees? Or are you gonna make it just all about me? And I like to say, take the me out of business and put the we into business. When I say we, I'm talking about a triple win. I'm talking about your customers, I'm talking about the business, and I'm talking about your employees. So when I say you put the we back into the business, you take care of your employees, pay them a little more, and you get a little more.
It's so important because the labor turnover is like the worst thing for a business. And right now it's a pretty tight labor market. If you want to keep people, you have to treat them well. You have to pay them.
100%.
And I think when you make people around you more successful, you can't help but become more successful yourself.
Right. I think if you benchmark what, average salary should be and you're right around 90%, and you have a good culture where people are coming to work and feeling appreciated. I try to make sure every one of my employees realizes that they make a difference. We're kind of as strong as our weakest employee. And, and it's not a great fit for everybody. Whether it's customer care or sales or administration, not everybody has found the perfect, piece of paradise when they come to Purity products. But for the most part, if people feel appreciated, they're acknowledged, they're recognized. It's amazing how much of a group effort we have. Everybody kind of feels like, we're all rowing together in stride as opposed to, having to deal with contentiousness. And who's got time for that? So you pay a little more, and I think we expect more. And I think our customers have a deep appreciation for, what we stand for. We have values, we have principles, we make it very clear, and we give back to charity, whether it's the Vitamin Angels right now. This year, we're really into the Warrior Reunion Foundation, which is run by a good friend of mine, who is a former Naval Academy graduate, who's trying to, in his own way, give back to people who have served in the military. The Warrior Reunion Foundation helps to put together reunions for groups of officers who, and soldiers who come back from Iraq and Afghanistan, who have all gone their separate ways and who oftentimes are dealing with PTSDs and issues. But by having them get together in a reunion, think of like a massive barbecue, and maybe putting them up for a couple of days so they can commiserate with each other and support each other.
There's a lot of healing that comes from realizing you're not alone. Suicide is such a horrible problem in veterans.
They have a Facebook page, Warrior Reunion Foundation. If you look them up on Facebook or warriorreunionfoundation.org, great charity. So we're really mindful. We're giving back. We're making a difference there. We're sponsoring Gold Star families to get back together and be a part of these reunions. And it makes us feel good. I mean, we promote that. I think in social media and on the website, you can leverage a little bit of your outreach. I don't think there's a moral dilemma. We do anonymous giving, but we like to let people know that we care.
If you don't tell people about it, people aren't going to know.
Right. One of the adages we promote and we preach in customer care on the phone, because guess how many calls we take a week at Purity Products based on the business that we're doing
I can't
in
imagine.
Customer care.
It must be in the thousands.
It's in the thousands. We could basically fill up Citi Field in a given month with the number of calls we take, because we do a fair amount of advertising, and people want to monitor their their Super Saver campaigns. They call back to adjust, to update, to get some information. But we preach, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And so in customer care, that's important. Down to that very, I don't want to preach here, but people want to know that you care.
Wait, how long has Purity been around now?
We're now 26 years.
26 years, and I think Jason has been with you for 26 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what is the secret to keeping these people you told us appreciation on that, but you have great people and they're there for so long. It's incredible.
Look, I think that when people come into work, right, they want a safe place to work. They don't want a place that, where there's a lot of hostility. We try to make sure that we manage our stress levels. We have a good HR department, where people can go there. But deeper down, I think it comes down to feelings of gratitude, feeling like you're a part of something bigger, right? So we're not just purity products trying to sell vitamins and make money. Sure, I like to say the bus runs on fuel. We have to make money so that we can pay people, and people like to get bonuses. So without a doubt, that's a priority. But behind the scenes, we're thinking we're doing something that's a part of something bigger. We're bigger than just ourselves. So we're giving money to charity. We're helping people get healthy. People don't want to be in a society where there's immune threats all over the place, where they need to manage, whether it's their weight, their cholesterol, joint aches and pains, and not be proactive. They want to take charge of their health. So by us being there with evidence-based nutritional supplements, we feel like we're helping people. So we feel good about what we do. And Mitch, what I want to say, people like you, people like, our good friends from college, even like Rob and John, you guys inspire me. Because when I think about how good you are at what you do, how much intelligence, how much research and diligence you do with your business, that's one of the other missing links is people have to be good at what they do. We don't have to be good at everything we do. But, we know a lot about nutrition. We take it very seriously. You know a lot about investments. You take it seriously. And people want to be surrounded by folks who have competence and intelligence. And so, we do that too. We don't try to be experts in everything in nutrition, but when we put formulas together, we're working with PhDs and we're working with scientists. We're using the clinical research. We are not just like inventing formulas that we think are going to work. We're doing it objectively, scientifically, right? Where you got to ignite that passion, but you need to find a niche and dominate it, right? We can't do everything well. In certain podcasts, I'll talk about go an inch wide, but go a mile deep. Get really good at what you do. Doesn't have to be everything.
I've heard that and I love
right?
that. Mm-hmm.
And then find that niche where you can be useful, but you can also be unique. You can get ultra specific in the benefits that you're going to provide so that you can stand out. Because we can't be generic in this day. We can't be commodities. It's too easy to get your commodities on Amazon.
Everything it has to be personalized. There has to a story.
There needs to be a rich story. There needs to be a rationale. People want to know the why these days. It's obviously there's big books written on what Simon Sinek, right?
Why, sure.
But that's important even when you think about a product and it's the way it's going to connect with people. And that's where the story comes in.
Mm-hmm. So what is a failure? I want to hear like a doozy. Like let's hear a doozy.
All right, so
something that didn't work. A failure, and how did you overcome it?
We spent like almost $100,000 doing a clinical study on a very interesting formulation that was based on the muscle building attributes of creatine. Creatine has about 300 clinical studies. We knew that creatine would make people's story. We knew that creatine would make people stronger. But, as a golfer, as a passionate golfer, I wanted to know, will creatine help people swing faster and hit the ball, like a drive, farther? So we needed to spend some money. We went to Ohio State. We put down, quite frankly, 6 digits, $100,000, because that's how much it takes to do a really good study. And we got back clinically significant results. I thought it was going to be like one of the greatest breakthroughs, a landmark study. It was actually considered a landmark study in golf and nutrition, but it didn't resonate with anybody but me. But the lesson there is just because you really like something, don't just go all in. You got to get some market feedback. And sometimes I think we need to be, extra mindful when we're extra passionate, that we're not just getting sucked into, our own belief system. And you have to be able to pivot.
That is a huge problem for entrepreneurs.
For sure.
We get sucked into something we believe in so much. We're so passionate about it and everyone's going to love it. And you find out when it's a little too late that it just wasn't really what the market wanted. I will now end this broadcast. And if you have any questions, if you think of anything after the broadcast, check back in the comments. Ask us if you're watching this in the replay. We'd love to hear from you as well. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button.
Thank you, Mitch.
Right over here.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome.